A project from Washington State University is giving new insights on the lives and experiences of LGBTQ plus Washingtonians. And it's a mixed bag of results. The WSU survey found that while most in Washington give the state high marks for protections and attitudes, many have experienced discrimination and battled mental health issues. To break it down, we're joined by the researcher behind the survey, WSU professor Tracy Gillig. Thanks for joining us, Tracy.
Thanks so much for having me.
To start, what stuck out the most from the survey's results?
Yes, so one of the things that stood out was all of the positive things that LGBTQ plus Washingtonians are saying about the state. So most participants in our survey said that they've personally benefited from the legal protections and policies in the state of Washington that pertain to LGBTQ plus folks. Most of these individuals also perceive that those policies are improving the general public's attitudes towards queer individuals. So that was great to see. We saw a lot of feedback from folks about the sense of community that they feel in Washington, the sense of acceptance, as well as their valuing of the legal protections that are here. In terms of some of the negative things that we saw, though, we did see challenges remaining in different areas, like in healthcare, in the workplace, in home ownership. So there are still ways that Washington can help make the state an even better space for LGBTQ plus folks.
Well, speaking of, mental health was a major topic in your survey. What did LGBTQ plus people say about the mental health of their community?
Yeah, so we were seeing elevated rates of depressive symptoms and anxiety. We also saw elevated rates of suicidal ideation. So we're seeing those sorts of disparities that are still facing this community. And a lot of that has to do with the sorts of social situations and discrimination that people are experiencing in various settings.
What about the physical medical care aspect? That's another big issue. You mentioned that earlier. What are the specific concerns there?
We saw, particularly from adolescents, they're reporting that they're having trouble accessing the sort of care that they need. We heard a lot, too, about the difficulties that people experience with insurance. If they're seeking gender-affirming care, a lot of times it's taking people a long time to find care because of insurance difficulties and also difficulties in accessing providers in the state.
What do you think at this point lawmakers in Washington should be focused on based on these results? It seems like you guys took a lot of time out, a lot of care, and there's a lot of issues to address. What do you believe they should start with?
Absolutely. Well, I think that for one, people are moving to Washington because it's a place that is supportive generally of LGBTQ plus people. And I think that particularly with what's happening at the federal level and the sort of hostility that we're seeing towards the queer community, I think that Washington in particular might want to pay attention to how people are moving here to the state and maybe working to make homeownership and medical access more reachable to people who are looking to Washington as a sanctuary state that can help them meet their needs.
And Tracy, what do you think we can do as people who may want to be allies or help support this community?
Absolutely. So I think encouraging your local government, encouraging the state government to continue to support queer folks is one place to start. I think also that there's a lot of information in the survey that can be helpful to community organizers and to activists. There's a lot of evidence that is in the survey that's new information. It's updating what's more dated information that already exists. And so I hope that people use the survey report as a tool to be able to advocate for the needs of themselves and their community.
Well, we know knowledge is power. Tracy Gillig, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.